Changemakers, and welcome to The Core, sponsored by Red Apple Edco. This is your Everything Education podcast. We talk about current events, books to read. We interview education leaders, hear their stories, learn from their biggest lessons, and they share what they wish you knew about what it means to be in education today. I'm your host, Dr. Kia Turner. Buckle up for small seeds of inspiration that can lead to big changes in your classroom practice. Let's take a bite out of today's guest. Hi, you guys. It's Dr. Kia here. I'm with Jocelyn Guansing, who I met here at Edcamp, CapCUE. Yet another person who's awesome that I definitely think you should get to know. Okay. Jocelyn is a classroom teacher, right? Elementary school. She's at Robert Willett Elementary in Davis, California. Mm-hmm. She's been in education for 7 years. And before that has been in and around learning in schools for at least 10 or 13 more. Okay. So 20 total is what we're saying. Okay.
All right.
It's gonna
just did that last night. Right? So, too much information.
Definitely wanted to have you all get to see her. And you know, I use the free Screencastify Lite. So in 10 minutes, you will get to know about Jocelyn and how to contact her if you have any more questions. All right, let's start with the first question. Why do you teach? What is it that motivates you to get up every day and continue in this work?
I think it's that energy that students have and their thirst for learning. Ooh. And wanting to contribute to the community. Mm-hmm. And if I can foster that in any way, that's why I'm in the classroom. And I think it's evolved. I think for me, gaining teaching is like, yes, I want to make that positive impact with kids and our future. But what I'm realizing now in the past couple of years, like, wow, kids have amazing ideas and how they want to affect their community. And so that's why I'm continuing to teach.
Why is pulling that out important to you? Did you have like that transformative educational experience as a kid too, or no?
I was in a very traditional classroom. Mm-hmm, we've got the textbooks, we've got the note paper, just like pencil and paper stuff, mostly.
Okay. Question 2. Yep. What is one thing you are doing in your classroom right now that excites you?
I have to admit, I'm on the bandwagon of PBL. So
tell us what it is if we don't know.
Project-based learning, also known as problem-based learning.
Yeah.
Again, I throw out a question to my students and they jump all over it. It's not like solving or answering the questions. It's like they want to start researching it. They know, like, okay.
What grade are you with? Tell us.
10-year-olds, 5th grade.
Look at this.
Solving the world's problems. Yeah.
When you say you throw out a question, do you just kick in the door, bam, and you say, today's question is, how do we end world hunger, children? What are we going to do?
They would have some ideas about that. They would totally have some ideas about that. For the most part, I try and align it with an existing curriculum that we have. I'm trying to move towards the student-generated question. So I'm very fortunate to be teaching in Davis, and my students are very aware of what's going on in the world, and they definitely want to have an impact or at least try to come up with some solutions.
That's amazing. Yeah. Okay. Question 3. What is one resource you think every educator, no matter the location, should know about? Like, here is one thing you need to either attend, you need to either use, you need to read about. Yeah. One thing.
So at this PBL training that I've been going to, the one resource that I found is called EL Education. And it's not for English language learners. It's actually excellence in education. So there's a lot of resources there, existing projects that students have used, samples, all of it. So
say it again slow for people who wasn't quite catching that.
It's eleducation.com?
Yes.
Or .org. I can't.
One of them. I'll find it.
Yeah.
And so you're saying that there are like PBL kind of packets.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Kind of packets and just like an overview of what the project is and what, the stuff that the kids presented. And it's more about what they call beautiful projects. And it's just like,
I love that.
And just amazing.
So if I were Kung Fu Panda level 0 trying to get started in PBL, I would probably go to that site
to get inspired.
To get ideas, and get inspired and kind of get a kickstart to my thinking about the kind of stuff students can do.
Yes.
Well, there's a resource for you. Make sure you check that out if you haven't heard of it before. Number 4, what was your last aha moment as a professional? You were like, the light came on. This is what I was missing. This was the missing key. What was it?
A lot of times students know more than I do.
Amen.
Amen. And being okay with that.
I like the part too. Yes, not being intimidated by that.
No, but also fostering that and nurturing it.
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Yeah.
So it's just like, you guys definitely know more than I do on some topics. And so they become the experts in it. Mm-hmm. And so I tell them, like, teach me about this.
What does that look like? Because I can hear viewers thinking, okay, look, I hear your thoughts, just in case you didn't know. I can see the question coming up, like, if I want to foster and nurture that, I want you to continue to be expert and to continue to push your thinking. What does that look like?
So I think when a student comes up with an idea, and it's usually related to something that we're doing in school, I kind of open up and be flexible to that and be open to them, like, exploring that even more. So I had some students, like in math, I had some students who were really proficient in a certain concept.
Okay.
In math.
Okay.
And like, something, I don't need to assess you guys anymore because you're already performing it. You're already doing it. Why give you more problems on something that you already know how to do? And so they came up with an idea of using that concept in city planning.
What?
So
Becca?
They designed their own city.
10-year-olds?
10-year-olds.
10-year-olds?
10-year-olds.
Y'all know my background's in high school. I'm like, 10-year-olds? Those are babies.
They did. They researched, like, what it takes or what elements the city should have.
Okay.
City services, all that kind of stuff.
And connected it to math?
Connected it to math.
And you sort of just gave them the leeway to run with that idea. So once you realize, hey, they've mastered this standard or these groups of standards, I don't need to keep finding new ways to ask them the same questions. Instead, I want to extend that thinking. So maybe that's the takeaway. If you have what is not me, what Jocelyn is saying, because I am like, wow, I'm mind blown right now. So what Jocelyn is saying is, if you have students who get it, and you know they get it, you have the formative and summative data that shows you that they definitely get it, then allow them the opportunity to extend that learning. Don't feel like you have to keep being the keeper of all knowledge, and instead lead them, if you can, into a project is kind of what I hear you saying.
Definitely.
That, and then support them while they do that project work. So we're talking a little bit about differentiation then.
A little bit, a lot of it.
A lot of it.
And then they have to know that they are responsible for it. And that
how do you build in that accountability?
Definitely give them a time frame and a deadline of when that project has to be done. And then also give them the opportunity to present it to their peers. So that's kind of a motivating factor there. But they also know that I have to work with their classmates so that, I'm still teaching the concept to them. But then if they have questions, they can come talk to me during an independent work time and stuff like that.
So are you building this in as like Genius Hour, or it's just the way that they do class?
I think it's similar to Genius Hour, but it's the way that these particular students just enter into the classroom for math.
That is amazing. Yeah. So then when we think about, how to hold them accountable for that structure, you're saying you're setting definite time limits. Like, I need to see this by this date.
And they also set, like, they kind of do that backwards mapping of, it's due at this date. And then I need to make sure certain things are finished.
Doing that workflow planning. Okay. And remember, I keep telling y'all, Lucid Chart. Lucid Chart has free templates that you can push out to students digitally that will help them to map the flow of their project. And you can hold each kid accountable for what they're going to do. And then Bunsey for the presentation method. I got to shout them both out because I love them. And I keep talking to you all about these methods. Use them. Okay. Number 5 and last one. In a few words, what is it that you need everyone to know about education in Northern California? So when we think about this region, right? Oh dear. So when we think about where you live and the movement that you see in education here and kind of the direction you all are going, what is it that people need to know about in 60 seconds?
In 60 seconds, I'm going to keep it simple.
Okay.
Yeah. Trust your students.
Tell us a little more.
Just trust them with whatever's going on, whether it's using technology or developing a PBL or like integrating Lucid Chart. Is it Lucid Chart?
Lucid Chart.
There you go. Is to really just trust the students and let them explore.
I love that. If you want to find out more about Jocelyn, you can follow her on Twitter. It's at Miss MS Guansing, Guansing. Am I saying that right? Thank the Lord. I hate to mispronounce. Follow her, and she's willing to take your questions via Twitter DM. When you want to read her bio, go over to the Educators You Should Know section of the blog, and I'll have her there. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm a hugger. Oh, bye, you guys. That's all we have for today. Thank you for listening to The Core. Wherever you are listening to us, be sure to like our show, subscribe, and share the episode that's meant the most to you. We appreciate every single one of our subscribers, as do our sponsors. We look forward to seeing you next week. You can also check us out on YouTube at Red Apple Edco if you'd like to see more video of these conversations. We have them posted there.